Hello everybody, welcome to Weekend Guitar Building with Glebas. Today we are going to make some inlays for this guitar. Here is my inlay design. I printed out this plan of a guitar with frets and everything that's happening here, and I designed these inlays. Usually you have inlays on the 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 12th, 15th, 17th, 19th, 21st and 24th frets. And for 12th inlay, I designed something special. So you see, it's letter G and then letter G at the top as well. So it's like my first name and last name in this, I don't know, maybe interesting design. And for the small markers, I figured out I wanted to use the symbol of Atlantis, which is the city buried under the sea, very mythical city. Because I'm planning to paint this guitar turquoise and like navy blue color, I figured out that Atlantis might be a very good fit for this guitar. And I'm going to make this GG inlay out of this mother of pearl, and the little Atlantis sign inlays, I'm also going to make them out of this piece of mother of pearl. This one is rippled and this one is just a normal one, and I believe both should look amazing. Now the first step is to cut them to the right size and shape. Let's do that. Did I already mention that mother of pearl is quite expensive for its little size, and if I mess this up it's going to be pretty bad. Well, there's that if I didn't. Now let's cut it. It's getting very hot because of the friction. Okay, good. Now I almost cannot see the lines that I drew initially. So, you see, now we get these interesting shapes, but we want them to be triangles. So I need to do like 4 more cuts in other direction. Yeah, I hope it can hold on. Okay, I'm done cutting, and I will be completely honest with you, it turned out way better than I expected, and it's, well, at least I think it's beautiful. What do you think? Now I have to do exactly the same thing with this beautiful piece, although this time it's a bit more complicated because I want to get a letter G, or more like double letter G out of it. Let's see how it goes. Yep, this one is definitely a lot more complicated. So you see, I turned it around so the rippled beautiful side is there at the bottom, so I'm going back from the other side where I can draw and scribe all the lines. So let's cut this one as well. Oh, it's becoming very hard to do it, so I'll finish this line and then I'll see you on the other side. So as I mentioned, this piece is really hard to work with. You see the ratio of my finger to this thing, even my pinky, it's as huge or say as small as my pinky. So I took a saw and I cut this channel over here and over there, so it's starting to look like a G. As the next step, I want to remove this triangle, and I'm planning to make a little hole with the rotary tool and then extend it with my rasps, like maybe this triangular small rasp. Now that I got them to the shape that I roughly want, I'm planning to take them out and then go in with this triangular rasp. I'm not sure if that's the best course of action for now, but let me try with the one, and then we'll probably move to another if that's successful. It is so hard to film it. It's such a little thing. Oh, by the way, this is how it looks from behind. This is the curly or wavy mother of pearl. It is so little, so hard to hold it. So you see, that's the idea. Triangular rasp, and I need to make this hole roughly of the same shape. So after maybe 1 hour of work, this is what I've got. Remember, this is the original design, and this is our pieces, and then there is just a little stick between them. Oops, like so. What do you think? Does it look like an original design? I think it does. I think it looks awesome. I love it. Hello everybody, and welcome to the next day of the build. Today we are going to take these inlays and inlay them into the fretboard. Let's get to it. Luckily, making an inlay or putting it into the fretboard is a pretty straightforward process, to be honest. You take the inlay, so imagine this is our inlay, then you make a hole for the inlay in the fretboard. You know, of course it will not go straight through, and then you put the inlay inside the hole that you created. And here are some of the things that we will use. We'll probably end up using a double-sided tape or a masking tape super glue trick to put them in place. Then we will use a very sharp scalpel blade to make the outline of the shape. And then we will probably use this rotary cover with different kind of beads to make the hole deeper. So let me show you how it's done. So without any particular reason, let's start on the 9th fret. I think because it's easy to access. So this is our inlay, and these are our location lines. So this one is about 5 millimeters from the side, and this is the center line between 2 frets. So this position would give us such a spot for the inlay where I will be able to see it easily, you know, between the strings. So it's a nice spot for it. Now I'll take a piece of masking tape, cut a tiny part, like so. And I'll just put it here. Burnish it down. And then another piece is for the inlay, like so. I can probably cut away the excess so that it doesn't get in our way. like so, and just burnish it down a little bit, and then you see it's 2 pieces of masking tape. Again, we take a little bit of super glue, and the car behind me doesn't care that I'm filming a video, so a bit of super glue, and we put it in place. Now that the super glue cured, I can take the sharp scalpel blade, see it's cutting my nails, and I can go around the inlay and make the outline. Basically it's like, you know, taking the pencil and marking around something, although this time it's scalpel and it leaves a permanent mark in the fretboard, which I will later on to use as kind of a marking space for making the hole. So let me try to do it. Okay, so that's it looks like. I marked it all the way around the inlay, so now I can, oh, you see, because I cut through the tape, you could remove this excess. Now I can very carefully pinch it up, and you see, here is the imprint of our inlay. It might start to rain soon, so I just want to show you at least one of the things and how it's done. So here's our rotary cover. So we place it like so. You can see the light there. Now I can switch it on, and then we'll try to cover away some material. And so, after a little bit of cleanup, this is what we've got. We can now put the inlay inside. Hey, you see, it's not perfect. The hole is actually a little bit bigger than the inlay itself, but it is not a problem, because we are going to fill it with some sawdust, and you will not see this, you know, little hole anymore. But before I do that, I have to do the same process 9 more times, or even more. So let me do it and get back to you. I just did them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I just repeated the same process 10 times, and it took me about 2 hours. But you know, this was kind of fun. And basically by doing all these, you see now they are flush with the fretboard. They're all inlaid. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is an example. Basically by doing all this, I was getting some practice for this, the most beautiful one. I just made an outline with the pencil, and now I will do exactly the same process for this big, beautiful thing. Let's do it. Now again, I'm going to start with a very small bit, but then I'll probably switch to this bigger one, which happens to be exactly the size I need. So I'm hoping it will work great, but let's see. And now I think I can go in with a thick bit and then make it exact size. I have to be very precise with my movements, so my hands need to be very steady, because if I go a little bit left or right, it's going to be damaging my work. So I'll switch to this one and then we'll continue. I have a feeling this is going to be a lot harder than I initially imagined. Let's see. Okay, let's move closer. This has done most of the job. Have to clean it up a little bit, but it did the job really well. So this is how we're looking like after some cleanup. And oh my god, I love that. Isn't this the most beautiful thing you saw today? Yeah, at least today. To glue them in place, I'm going to be using super glue and this cool extension that I recently purchased. It's going to make the super glue a bit more precise. You know, imagine this thing, this adapter is like a sniper rifle for super glue. Let's do it. And I'm just going to start with the first one and then I'll move up. They're a little bit tricky to get out of here. Yeah, got it out. So now I need to do my best to put on this adapter. Oh, well, it's not easy. Hopefully I can do it. Yeah. Okay, I think I got it. Something like this. Let's try it out. Oh, it's very interesting. Okay, should be enough. Then I just kind of put it in. And then press it down slightly. And when it cures, it's not going anywhere at all. Okay, that's good. Let me do the rest. I was trying to get a good angle so that you could see what's going on exactly, and I think I finally got it. Now let's clean this big boy in place. Okay, please move. This impression that at least, you know, it looks kind of cool. I like it. So now it's time to put in some glue and follow this track. Okay, here all the way. Here. We need the glue everywhere. Okay, should be enough. Now let me put in this thing. Okay. And yeah, that's it. Now it's not going to move anywhere when the glue cures. So on to the next step. You see, this inlay still has some cavities around it. And you know, it's not something we want. Dirt and grime from the fingers when guitar player is playing this guitar, it's going to get in there. So we want to get rid of it. And to make this happen, I would need some rosewood sawdust. You see, it's hanging there. I was collecting it for a while when working on this fretboard. And then a bit of super glue. So I'll open this little pack of sawdust that I was meticulously collecting over, the last few days that I was working on this guitar. And I'm going to use this sharp scalpel blade as a spoon. Just take a little bit and then put it on here. I want to make enough pressure to make this sawdust go where we want, which is inside the before mentioned cavities. So I'll press it down like so. It's very fine sawdust, so I'm hoping this should work. Okay, here there was a big hole here, so I think I'll shove a bit more in there. Okay, and now that we covered everything with sawdust, we can take, oh never mind, just a bit here. Now that we covered it with the sawdust, we can take our super glue, now without a magic attachment, and then just kind of flood it. And when this cures, we can take this off and our cavities will be full of the sawdust. Similar to the one that we did together, I flooded all of the inlays with some sawdust and super glue. And now it looks kind of like this, very awful, not pretty. So we gotta take the straight edge and sand it down flush with the fretboard, and it's going to be looking great again, hopefully. So after a little bit of back and forth, this is how we are looking. Now you see, instead of a cavity, now it's a nice kind of black brown line there. And then this goes for every single one. Oh, you see, this one has a bit more holes here, and this one has a little hole. So for these little holes, where where the sawdust didn't get in, I'll just do the same thing again. And there are bits and pieces here and there, so I can just do it again, it's not an issue. And then here also, but it's 80% there. And this is what the inlays look like from the above. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the big one. I love this look. So I'll work a bit more on filling those little gappies, and then I'll wrap it up, I think. So that's it for today. These inlays definitely exceeded my expectations, and I really love how they turned out. Now, actually we don't have this many things to be done, and I'm not too sure what the next step will be, but I'm happy to say that we are about 80% there. Now I will be back to you with more videos and more fun stuff happening. I'll probably do some cleanup, not so fun things off camera, and if something fun comes up, I will of course let you know and film all of that and share it. Now, thank you. I'm thrilled to have you here on this journey with me, and if you like it, that's great, because I'm really enjoying this project so far. Now, I'll be back with more fun stuff, and see you later.